Hello, this is a request for Jeff and Andy. It is Samuel Barber's Monks and Raisins. Words by José García Villa.
This is a song from 1943, and you'll reveal all about how we're dressed like this later.
Well,
everything.
Maybe.
Put the music on.
Aye. I have observed pink monks eating blue raisins, and I have observed blue monks eating pink raisins. Studiously have I observed. Now this is the way a pink monk eats a blue raisin. Pink is he and it is blue, and the pink swallows the blue. I swear this is true. And the way a blue monk eats a pink raisin is this. Blue is he and it is pink, and the blue swallows the pink. And this also is truth. Indeed, I have observed and myself partaken of blue and pink raisins, but my joy was different. My joy was to see the blue and the pink counterpointing. So we did that a little slower than a lot of people do.
I think that was very effective because folks could hear the words and.
Well, a lot of people do this.
So you know this thing in classical singing, right?
It's called words.
That is often emitted.
You are presuming. Maybe nobody did get the words. I'll put them in the description, maybe, because it's a wonderful poem.
They are unusual words. It's
they
not,
are. You
it's not
can't,
words
doesn't
that
make
people
sense.
would typically speak.
So you can't go like, oh, of course that makes sense.
What category of poetry would you put José García Villa in?
I would say that he's like...
You personally, as a connoisseur of poetry...
I'm not a connoisseur of poetry, but I like poetry. I'd say he's slightly sort of surrealist, but then that's just me. He was friends with E.E. Cummings. E.E. Cummings admired him. He was Filipino. He's a Filipino poet who was also known as the comma poet because he used a lot of commas, which makes me think of the acting style of William Shatner. You know, he threw the comma after everything.
Surrealist.
To be or not.
To live in the 1930s voice. It does remind me. If you were to paint this as a picture, you could, type it into an AR image generator.
No.
And get the style of Salvador Dali quite easily, right?
Blue and pink raisins.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, you could
and
actually.
we call that surrealist painting.
You could
right?
actually.
So.
That's true. That's true.
So there you go.
José
so maybe that's the right
Villa. I've heard it pronounced Villa. I have tried so hard to find. I have tried really hard as I could within the parameters of everyday life and doing this, to find recordings of José.
You need to go outside
García Villa. Yes. Declaiming and speaking his own poetry. I tried.
So what you're asking for is an internet searchable
himself.
Asset of somebody from the Philippines from the 1930s.
Well, he was born in 1908 and he died in 1997. Surely somewhere there is recordings of him.
Or later on in life.
Speaking his poetry. I'd love to hear his style, but I know that a lot of people interpret this because it says allegro. And a lot of people sort of, I have observed pink monks eating blue raisins, and I have observed, and it just sounds like a batty lady who's sort of saying batty things on a bus or something. I think it sounds like somebody who's kind of a guru, who's kind of saying, everything is wise and it really has a greater meaning. I have observed pink monks eating blue raisins. And I thought it's perfect for Pride, actually, because right now, because there's a big discourse about whether this means gender and interchanging gender. And in fact, it was very funny about this poem specifically.
Well, and he was writing that back then. Wow.
Well, you never know.
Possibly, yeah.
And well, this setting is from 1943, so he wrote it at least before 1943.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
But my joy is to see the blue and the pink counterpointing.
Well, very good outfit choice, Patricia. We should take pictures and put on your Instagram. In the meantime, let's capture a still.
This is good on the London Underground. You don't get the underground air in your hair, and when you wash it, it doesn't come out grey like it normally does.
Let's take a picture of a sort of sage. I don't know what that would look like. I have observed. I'll be like, I'll be like this.
There we go. And may come as no surprise, not written for a guitar. He was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. If those of you who know
Making a guitar version.
A guitar version, but at sight. It's not a transcription that's been written down, so it remained a bit elastic, and I think I pulled you around rhythmically, so I don't know.
Musical, there's a lot of vibrato in there. Comment, if you can, below about what you think of Samuel Barber's music. Be honest. His most famous instrumental... His most famous songs and instrumental music does not typically sound like a large part of his output.
Yes,
would you agree?
Yes, like Goretzky. Everybody, Symphony of Sorrowful Songs came out, and they're like, this is great and peaceful and goes with my beige decor. What else have you got? And it's like, I remember that very well in the 90s. I'm old, you see.
That's really funny.
It's true.
Okay, so instead follow Patricia Hammond Songs on Instagram and request at Patricia... Hammond.com/request by clicking the link in the description.
Thank you, Jeff and Andy. You're always asking for something intriguing.
And yes, I did wear this the other week, but I'm short on fortune teller clothes. Not really my vibe. I know a lot of people who have that sort of thing. So,
little did you know.
They're not in this band.
There you go.
See you later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.